Ocala.
Minutes after 7 o'clock. Nice looking Thursday morning. It's November 6, 2014. Thank you for tuning in to The Source, WOCA, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall where it is 58 degrees right now.
Yeah.
Live from the Paddock Mall just outside the WOCA commissary.
Yep.
Less affectionately known as the food court.
That's right.
Every mall has a food court.
Exactly.
The Paddock Mall has the WOCA commissary.
Yes, it does.
Just remember, when you're eating here, it's a little extra special.
It is. Very extra special.
In fact, we are broadcasting from what used to be an eating establishment.
Yep.
Well, actually, it's still an eating establishment. We do a lot of eating here.
Yeah, I love snacks.
All right, good morning, Robin. How are you?
Good. Good morning, Larry. How are you?
Thursday, we are 3 weeks away from Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
3 weeks from today.
Yep.
The big day of turkey.
Yes. I love Thanksgiving
or ham.
Day.
Or you know what I like on Thanksgiving? That string bean casserole that people make.
Oh,
that
yeah.
people make.
Yeah, that
Not
people
that I make.
Oh, okay.
Because I've never made it.
Oh.
It's always something that shows up elsewhere.
Uh-huh. You going to try it this year?
Try to make it?
To make it, yeah.
No. I'll probably get it at a Golden Corral or something. And anyway, 3 weeks from today is Thanksgiving. How about that?
Isn't that something? Time flies. All these years, everything
Time
goes by
flies
real
like
quick.
an arrow.
Yes.
Remember these wise words. Mm-hmm. Time flies like an arrow.
Yes.
Fruit flies like a banana.
Yes, they do.
Don't give me credit for that. That was Groucho Marx.
Yeah, that's a funny line.
Hey,
now.
funny line.
Makes
All
a
right.
lot
So
of sense.
let me tell you what we're doing this morning. 7:35. Have you heard about what the Supreme Court is looking at?
No.
The U.S. Supreme Court. The United States of America Supreme Court
Uh-oh. What are they doing
is
now?
looking at a case
Yeah.
of a fisherman in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Florida.
Uh-huh.
Because he threw back some fish that may have been too small.
Oh. But aren't you supposed to?
Well, this is after he got caught.
Oh, okay.
The United States Supreme Court. This is what they're looking at.
This is absolutely
Not the Florida
insane.
Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Not some local court.
Right.
The U.S. Supreme Court.
Well, they got to earn their money somehow.
Yesterday, the U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments in the case that will determine whether a Florida fisherman, alleged to have thrown undersized fish overboard, was properly convicted under a law that was passed to stop the crimes committed by the corrupt executives who brought down Enron.
Oh, my goodness.
Wait till you hear this silly story. Wait till you hear this story. How many cases has the U.S. Supreme Court said, no, you guys handle this one. This is not for the U.S. Supreme Court.
Exactly.
But this one, we'll take it on.
Sure, why
Fish,
not?
let's take it on. What did he do? He threw the fish back. They were too small.
Yeah.
Let me take a look at this paperwork here. What did he do? He threw evidence away.
Yeah, they've been waiting on this all their years to do a case like this.
Honey, what'd you do today at your job in the Supreme Court? Oh man, you don't want to know. It was a rough day. Had a rough day, honey.
Yeah.
Well, you got that spaghetti made yet? I'm hungry. Yeah, I did. What do you mean it was a rough day? How bad was it? Some guy threw fish overboard.
Yeah.
Really? Must have been a lot of fish if the U.S. Supreme Court is looking at it. No, it was like 79 fish or something. 79 fish. He threw them overboard? Yeah. That's a tough case, man. Where's that spaghetti?
Warrants the Supreme Court.
What the heck?
Yes, Supreme Court. That is
What
nuts.
the heck? We got the whole world falling apart, and they're looking at whether a guy threw a fish over it.
That's right. Gosh.
I can't wait to tell you this one. So we'll do that at 7:35. I kind of want to jump into it right now, but I know I won't have to. I'll be cut off by the clock.
Yeah.
All right, 7:35. We'll talk about that. 8:35, and your phone calls. I can't wait to hear what you say about this one. If you haven't heard about it already, that's cool because that means I'm telling you. I hadn't heard about it before. It was my first time reading it this morning.
Yeah, I have not heard of it. I thought, wow.
All right. Well, anyway, so 7:35 we'll do that. 8:35 we will read the news. It is one of the stories. The difference between our reading of that story at 8:35 and 7:35 is, first of all, at 7:35 we offer our opinion on it.
Yes.
8:35 we just read the facts, ma'am.
Yep.
It's just the facts.
Yep.
9:05 Veterans News. Hank Whittier comes in here every Thursday and brings us Veterans News. Always love when he comes in here.
Yes.
Last week he hinted that one day he may run for office, which I would definitely vote for Hank. Do you know he's one of those born leaders? I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at recognizing people who are born leaders.
No,
I really
you
am,
are.
and I've known Hank for a long time. It's not just here. People think I only know him from this radio show.
Way before that.
But he's you can tell a guy who other guys look up to. You can tell a guy who has integrity. You can tell a guy who is clearly going. If you're going to follow him, you're not going to go wrong. You can tell it. Now I'm not a follower, so no offense, Hank. I mean, I love Hank, but I'm just not a follower. I don't follow anybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, so but Hank is a born leader and awesome. I've seen him giving food out to people in the dark in the parking lot over at the Cascades, people who were desperate, So.
Exactly.
Anyway, Vets Helping Vets is the organization he's with. Lloyd Ecker and Susan Ecker are coming on the air at 9:35. They have a book called I Am Sophie Tucker. It's a fictional memoir, the first book in the Sophie Tucker trilogy. I can't wait to find out what this is about. The Eckers are filmmakers, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing this is going to be a movie.
Yep. She's before Mae West, I think. She was...
Yeah, she's one of the sexy women from the past.
Yeah, but she wasn't like a size 2. She was like...
No. Back then, us guys...
She was
what's the girl say? I'm all about the bass?
Yes.
Back then, we were all about the bass.
Yeah.
Us guys.
That's right.
Don't ask me what changed our minds about it. Let's talk golf at 10:05. This is when Jim Beckett comes in and answers your questions about golf or just simply chats about the game.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
The sport. Tom Cohen at 10:35. He's a multi-Emmy award-winning producer.
Yep.
He lives with a dog, just like me.
Yes, he does.
He lives with an old man-faced dog.
Yep.
His dog has an old man face, and he said, I wonder how many other old man-faced dogs are out there. So he took his camera, a guy who has won Emmy Awards, and decided to make a book.
Yeah.
Of photographs. Where's the book? Is it here
It's right
somewhere?
here.
It is a fun book to flip through. It's just one of those.
Here it is.
You know when you go to the bookstore, especially this time of year, you're looking for a gift for somebody, and you will stop and you will pick up this book. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't
fun.
look like an old man. That looks like a young woman. That looks like a woman right there. That dog.
Oh yeah, it looks pretty
that's
fluffy.
a cute woman.
Because it's a poodle.
Yeah. Well, dogs kind of look like old men because old men have beard. Look at that old.
There you go.
It's funny.
That's right. Funny.
How do we
funny.
talk about this book except to just tell you got to see it?
Yeah, it will make a great Christmas gift too. For dog lovers.
I'd say.
Really nice.
All right, so Tom Cohen with that story. Tom Nealon at 10:50. Tom
Two
is
Toms.
this Tom. The second Tom is a national board chair of the American Liver Foundation. After him, we got the guy from the American Onion Foundation.
Yeah, they're great together, liver and onions.
Yesterday, there was a story
Yummy.
about. Of course, no, I'm
Feast
teasing.
is good ones.
Raising awareness about liver cancer is a serious topic.
Yeah.
Tom Neal. But yesterday there was a story. Remember where they were able to bioprint liver tissue. Mm-hmm. Not a whole liver, but liver tissue.
Yeah, that was absolutely
Remember
fascinating.
We're just
Yeah.
We're just around the corner from them printing up organs to be replaced into people.
Yes.
It's going to happen any day.
It will.
Tabitha Roberson and Dr. Christy Paquette will be in the studio today.
With Brittany Marthaler.
With Brittany. Brittany's coming in. And Brittany is the communications manager at Ocala Health. And she and Leah Caruso and Suzanne Santangelo, the three ladies, quite often will bring us guests who have health information from doctors right here in our own community.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening today with Dr. Paquette and Tabitha Roberson. They're coming in to talk about the third annual Ocala Health Women's Wellness Day on Saturday, November 15th. It'll be at the College of Central Florida, right across the street from where we're broadcasting, and also some cardiac services and other therapeutic rehabilitation that they offer.
That's right.
All right, all that said.
And patient education.
Real quickly, anything I needed to, a couple things in the news, I guess, that are, the price of tubing down the river is going to cost more in Rainbow River. Do you remember the day when there was nobody charging anything? You just brought a tube and you got it and you floated down?
Yeah, I
Gosh.
do. I remember that.
That was almost every year. Almost every year I'd go to the KP Hole, float down the river with a tube, and somebody, we would just leave a car down there. We didn't wait for some paid driver to bring us back to the KP Hole.
Exactly. We'd have two cars.
One
on each end.
Anyway, so it's going up. It's still not a bad deal. I mean, if you think about it, $20. It is $15 right now. It'll be $20 after January 1st.
Oh.
So $20. It's not so bad of a deal. Tubing down the river is beautiful.
Yeah.
So you get a tube,
from them.
You get a ride back to the KP Hole when it's all done. It's not such a bad deal.
Yeah.
And it helps pay for the deputies that patrol the river, too, by the way.
Yeah, nice.
All right, let's take a little break. We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Steve Rappaport. One day after the midterm elections,
I'm eager to work with the new Congress to make the next 2 years as productive as possible.
President Obama striking a bipartisan tone, but also threatening to go it alone on immigration reform.
The president choosing to do a lot of things unilaterally on immigration would be a big mistake.
Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell. A Missouri judge overturning the state's ban on gay marriage.
An assistant state attorney general had argued that the Supreme Court has repeatedly allowed states to define marriage, and that Missouri's constitutional amendment defining marriage as between a man and a woman passed with 71% support.
Fox Radio's Lisa Brady. The state is appealing to the U.S. Supreme Court. The new king of country music. Luke Bryan crowned Entertainer of the Year at the CMA Awards. Miranda Lambert led the way with 4 trophies, including Album of the Year. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Fox News Early Prime, breaking down business news and its impact on your bottom line. Your World with Neil Cavuto.
That's how I do business. That's why I am business.
Bold positions and brash opinions on the topics America is buzzing about. The Five.
How do you think this will set in with the American people?
This will be the pulse of the nation.
Washington insight and political know-how from the best in the Beltway. Special report with Brett Bay.
The epicenter of the political world is here.
The #1 place for fair and balanced coverage. Fox News Channel.
What's wrong with working hard to make our lives and our kids' lives better? Nothing. At Fox Business, we don't have a problem with success. We have a very big problem with those who get in the way of it. We don't come out of the box bashing those who make money, just the politicians stealing it and the bureaucracies wasting it. We're not just sitting behind a desk. We're out in the field, on the floor, with the folks. Because when a story moves forward, so do we.
Fox Business, the power to prosper. Check your local listings.
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Apple peels, they contain a compound called ursolic acid that increases our metabolism, which means an apple a day can definitely help keep the pounds away. Models and doctors do date, but the person you meet online claiming to be one probably is not. It's the most common internet lie. Fashion experts believe the fragrance oil trend is here to stay because sales of traditional spray-on perfumes are disappearing into thin air.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services, when your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements. From damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA. All right, 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. All right, let's see. I do want to talk to you about the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Because that's a fun story.
Good. Looking forward to that.
And it's a controversial story, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why.
Who pays for that?
Who pays for it? You do.
A taxpayer, then.
All right, I was looking for a trumpet sound effect because I wanted to have some kind of da-da-da-da to announce something here.
Galen does that well, and so does Joe.
I know.
They both do that good.
You could do it. Let me hear you do it.
Da-da-da-da. No, I can't do it like them. Da-da-da-da. No.
All right, so here's the announcement we were supposed to not mention till today.
That's right.
And the other day when I mentioned it, I didn't even really read this memorandum. I was just assuming that this year was going to be similar to last year, where we had this thing called, what they call the Thanksgiving evening? Gray Thursday or something?
Yeah, something.
Whatever they call it.
Whatever the Thursday is called.
And I know a lot of you don't like it. I myself wasn't too happy with it, to be honest with you. But it turned out to be fun anyway. Anyway, so it is now Thursday.
Yes, it is.
And I'm allowed to make this announcement, right?
Yep, you are. On the very bottom, it says until November 6th.
Until November 6th. So it doesn't say what time on November 6th.
No, it's
like
just
we had
right now.
We had a, what do you call these things? Embargo.
Yeah.
We had an embargo at noon one day, and I couldn't do anything all morning long with it.
Yeah.
But this just says November 6th.
That was for Jane Elsperman.
That's right.
When she was honored.
Well, and that made sense because we didn't want to spoil the surprise for her.
Yeah.
But kids, are you ready? Play the trumpet.
There you go. See, you guys are really good at making noises. Oh, come on.
You can do that.
I mean,
we've done that since we were kids.
Not,
Rocky the Flying
girls.
Squirrel or something. Oh, no?
Yeah, but not girls.
Not girls.
You guys are good at rooms with cars and music things. And
all right, so the mall, whom is our host facility.
Yep.
And Brenda is just awesome, by the way.
Cleary,
What is she? What is her title?
She's a manager.
She's the manager. She's the boss of the whole mall?
Yep.
Wow. Anyway, she sent out this memorandum, and she asked us not to mention it till today. And the memorandum says, to accommodate the needs of our customers and retailers and build on last year's sales success, the mall will be open the following hours for the Thanksgiving weekend. Are you ready? This is 3 weeks from today.
Yep.
Thanksgiving Day, the mall will open up at 6 p.m. And will remain open till 1 a.m.
Yep.
On Black Friday, the next day, it reopens at 6 a.m., 5 hours later, and it will stay open till 10 p.m., which is later than usual, right?
Yep.
And then Saturday, November 29th, the next day, the mall opens up at 8 a.m. and closes at 10 p.m. And Sunday morning, the mall opens up at 10 a.m. and closes at 8 p.m.
Yep.
And then it says, we will, of course, support any store that makes the decision to remain open between 1 a.m. and 6 p.m. on Black Friday. So some stores may opt to keep their doors open completely from 6 p.m. Thursday all the way till 10 p.m. Friday.
Yep.
Some stores may choose to do that. If we find out which stores are doing that, I hope we are told.
Yeah, we'll be
I hope we
getting
can
a
tell.
list with
That's what I
all the
should say.
hours from now till Christmas Day and all
Anyway,
that.
so let's see. I guess that's the only thing I need to report, huh? What's the ice cream thing? That's just for us?
Yeah, that was
An ice cream social.
in-mall meeting.
Oh, that's for the tenants?
In October, so she would be able to tell them about the
that's
rules
passed.
and stuff. Yeah,
Oh, that's passed. See, I
but
didn't.
it was just for the tenants, like Joe.
But that's passed. Did Joe go get an ice cream?
I don't know. I hope he did. I hope he went there to, kibitz and.
Anyway,
supplies
just
and
that
stuff.
we weren't supposed to mention that till today. I kind of figured we were doing that, but I didn't know I wasn't supposed to say it.
Yeah.
But I kind of didn't say it. I kind of hinted at it.
Yes, you did, and that makes it.
All right,
nice.
let's go to the telephone. Then I'll tell you about the Supreme Court thing with the
Okay.
fish. The fishy story
I
about the
can't
Supreme
wait to
Court.
hear that.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, it's me, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
And I don't know if you can hear me. You're breaking up, but I know exactly, when you go to Staples and be able to print up a new organ,
Yeah.
the first thing, the first 9 organs they need to print up is 9 new brains for the Supreme Court. That's it. They've gone right over the edge. 9 new brains, print them up at Staples, give them 9 new brains, and start over fresh.
That's funny. All right. Thank you, Tom.
Have a good day.
Appreciate that. That's my brother, Tom. All right. Are you ready? Yesterday, the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court, heard arguments in a case that will determine whether a Florida fisherman. Hold on, I got 2 stories here.
Okay.
It's the same story, just 2 different agencies. That a Florida fisherman allegedly to have thrown undersized fish overboard was properly convicted under a law that was passed to stop the crimes committed by the corrupt executives who brought down Enron.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gee.
Here's the story. This goes back to 2007. Captain John Yates.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that just a wholesome American name?
Yes,
Captain
it is.
John Yates was fishing.
Yes.
Hey, Tom.
Good morning, Tom.
Fishing off the coast of Florida when the National Marine Fisheries Service, also known as the NMFS.
NMFS. We got another
NMFS, yes. Don't
abbreviation.
Just in case
there.
I use that abbreviation later on, you know it means National Marine Fisheries Service.
Fisheries Service. Okay.
Whose officers were deputized as federal agents by the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, also known as NOAA, inspected his boat.
Yes.
His boat had a name, by the way. What was the boat's name? Oh, I'll find it later. But anyway, they inspected his boat. Okay. Where was
No
I?
fish too small.
The agents claimed that Yates had caught undersized fish and instructed him to return to shore immediately for inspection.
Okay.
Before the boat reached shore, Yates told his crew, allegedly, to throw the small fish overboard.
His crew, probably one, right?
Okay, so they threw the fish overboard, which typically would result in a $500 fine or temporary license suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly 3 years after that happened, federal prosecutors charged Yates, put him in handcuffs, and arrested him.
What's his first name?
John. Captain John Yates.
Oh, okay.
You thought it was the guy from
Well, no,
Bread?
we were supposed to interview a Joshua Yates, and they had
Oh.
they canceled yesterday for personal reasons. So I wonder if it's the same guy.
Could be his brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, they claim that what was his story? Why was he coming on?
He had a book to promote.
Okay. Is it about fishing?
No.
The agents claim that Yates had caught the undersized fish and instructed him to return to shore for inspections. Hold on, I read that already, didn't I? Nearly 3 years after the fact, federal prosecutors charged him under the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, also known as SOX, S-O-X.
Okay.
The sweeping legislation passed after Enron's collapse to crack down on securities and accounting fraud.
Oh.
The federal government argued that throwing fish overboard was similar to shredding of evidence. And shredding is a severe crime under SOX.
Oh, yes.
Which, again, means the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Carrying a maximum 20-year prison sentence.
Well, they should tell it to Hillary.
20 years!
20 years.
20 years! The Supreme Court of the United States of America. Captain Yates was convicted, and he appealed, and the Supreme Court took his case. Maybe we should be happy they took his case.
Yeah.
Congress intended SOX, S-O-X. Don't
Yes.
forget, that's the Sarbanes-Oxley Act.
Yes.
Congress intended SOX to protect investors by improving the accuracy and reliability of corporate disclosures made pursuant to the securities laws. That's a quote.
There you go. There's the securities.
And here's another quote,
again.
to safeguard investors in public companies and restore trust in the financial markets following the collapse of Enron Corporation. That's another quote.
All of this for 70-some undersized fish.
SOX's anti-shredding provision was meant to stop executives from destroying files, not to imprison fishermen.
That's right.
And that's why one of the bill's authors, former Representative Michael G. Oxley,
Yes.
filed a brief supporting Captain Yates.
Mm-hmm.
Yates could never have known or imagined that SOX criminalized throwing undersized fish overboard.
Oh, this is.
He had no way of knowing it. All he knew was the most that would happen, $500 fine or my license gets suspended.
Right, exactly.
He took that risk.
Exactly.
He didn't know one of his guys was going to rat on him either, by the way.
Yeah, oh, he doesn't get a Christmas bonus this year.
No, that guy's gone. No, that guy's writing books and coming on the radio with radio hosts. Oh, we've got to take a little break. We've got weather, and then I promise I'll tell you the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey used to say after this.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be partly sunny today, nice and warm, high 81 to 85. Partly cloudy tonight, will drop to the mid and upper 50s and a few inland spots, 64 along the coast. Tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, less humid, the high between 70 in the north and 77 in the south. For Saturday, intervals of clouds and sun. There may be a late day shower near the coast. The high 73 to 79. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Hi, Danny Werfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. and she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA. All right, 12 minutes before 8 o'clock. Let's continue talking about this story about what the U.S. Supreme Court is considering and this fisherman who threw his fish back. The idea that the fish and whatever these guys are were deputized to become federal agents, that's kind of interesting too, isn't it? Anyway, it turned out the fish was grouper, just so I'll tell you that. 72 of them were undersized. And by undersized, they were smaller than the 20-inch minimum. So for those of you who are fisher people, you know about these things, I guess. Mm-hmm. Jones, the deputy who, let me make sure I got that right. Yates is the fisherman, is the captain. Jones is the deputy or the agent, I guess, who ordered him to return to shore with the fish. So before I say anything else, I just want you to consider the rest of a law enforcement's job. Law enforcement agent's job. Mm-hmm. You pull over a car and you smell marijuana in the car, right?
Yes.
Can you imagine telling the driver of the car, hey, listen here, mister, I want you to drive that car to the police station right now. Bring that marijuana with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's going to happen?
He's going to throw it out the window.
Throw it out the window?
Yeah.
What's going to happen then? Socks.
Yeah.
Once again, socks has to be implemented. The socks rule. So why didn't he at least take pictures? Why didn't the agent at least do something to document what he is saying that happened? And even if the guy is guilty of throwing the fish overboard, which I guess one of his sailors ratted on him.
Yeah.
Even if he did that, I mean, is it really warranting a 20-year prison sentence?
Yeah, exactly. That is absolutely nuts.
Let's see. Let me tell you what I have here so far in the story. Justice Stephen G. Breyer said the law, which is far broader than any witness tampering law, any obstruction statute, any lying to a federal agent law, could mean a person who throws away a government form delivered by a mail carrier was a felon. Mm-hmm. He asked for a limiting principle on government power. Mm-hmm. That was one of the statements made yesterday by Justice Breyer. Justice Samuel Alito, citing the possibility that a person who threw back a single trout caught on federal land could be at risk of prosecution for shredding, has also asked for a limiting principle. The government, however, recognized neither of them.
Mm-hmm. Gee.
This is almost always the case in regulatory over-criminalization cases. Captain Yates's punishment far outweighed the crime. Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And is it a crime?
Yes.
As Chief Justice John Roberts said, as the government's attorney was describing Yates' behavior, you make him sound like a mob boss or something. So Captain Yates spent 30 days in prison with 3 years of supervised release. He suffered DNA collection and travel and financial restrictions. Mm-hmm. He suffered DNA collection. What the heck does that mean?
They have to swab him to see if they scooped up the fish after.
That's not exactly
overboard,
suffering. Is there other? Anyway,
a data bank, a fish data bank.
He lost his ability to earn his living. Wow, sure. He lost his ability to learn. Cause of action sought an overcriminalization at work when we defended California marine biologist Nancy Black against NOAA's effort to imprison her for up to 27 years for misdemeanor whale feeding.
Oh, gee.
She was feeding whales.
Oh, my God.
And they tried to imprison her for 27 years.
Oh, how nuts.
Cause of action, I guess that's the name of a group, and the rest of Ms. Black's legal team were able to spare her from jail time.
Oh,
her loss of grant funding, years of fighting the government, and reputational damage to her business took a heavy toll.
My God. They go after the guys and they don't even go after the politicians that's hot and heavy that shred all their documents.
So I'm gonna retract my thinking about the Supreme Court. Maybe the Supreme Court is a good element to this story. Maybe they're the ones who's going to save the day on this one.
I hope so.
Good morning. You're on the air. I just think it could have been handled by this.
Tom again.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think that the Supreme Court needs to set. I mean, when we got the law passed for, Stephanie, and, killing somebody and leaving them by the side of the road, hitting them with your car, but then leaving them to die on the side of the road. We got the law. The average penalty is still only 23 months. So you can kill somebody and leave them by the side of the road and only go to jail for 23 months. But damn, if you throw a fish back in the water, you're going to jail for 20 years.
Wow, that puts it into perspective, yeah.
Think about that.
That's crazy.
Hopefully the Supreme Court will fix that. Throw a fish back in the water, 20 years. Hit somebody with your car and leave them to die on the side of the road, 23 months.
That's crazy.
Something wrong with that picture.
I hope people hear that. I hope people hear what you just said, Tom. Well, that's why we do that, Harry. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. That's absolutely a sin.
It is.
Tom's daughter, my niece, his daughter, Stephanie, was hit on State Road 200.
Yeah.
Some 8 years ago, maybe now.
Yeah.
8 or so, 8 maybe more, and it was a hit and run.
Mm-hmm.
And the statute of limitations eventually ended, and Tom worked with Larry Creedle to change that law so that there would be no statute of limitations.
Right.
So if you caught somebody long after the fact, they could still be in prison. But like he said, 23 months is the maximum.
Yeah.
Good morning. You're on the air.
This is a really interesting case, Larry. And the fact that it sounds frivolous on the surface, I think, works to the advantage of the citizens of this country because it's so crazy, but yet it attracts enough attention where it exposes the serious flaw in this law that was passed. Now, if this was some mob, you mentioned or somebody said it sounded like a mob boss or something like that, anyway, one of the justices. If it was a mob case or if it was some dark, deep, criminal conspiracy that would expose the flaw in this law, people would say, well, they deserved it because they were criminals. They would kind of shrug their shoulders. But because this is so ridiculous, and the whale feeding thing that you mentioned, this is the perfect case to take to the Supreme Court because it will shine a light on what they're doing in these government agencies to try to restrict our freedom. So I think it's fantastic. And when you first started telling me the story, I was kind of thinking, this does sound weird. But now that you've explained the whole spectrum of what's going on, this is the perfect case.
Yeah, I do agree, and I changed my mind about it in the course of understanding it myself. I don't know that I understood it completely at the beginning either. But yeah, I think you're right. Thank you, Pete. Appreciate that. Larry. Yeah. All right. So these the two people, the lady who fed the whales and the guy who was fishing for what was it, grouper?
Yes.
Okay. Possibly their livelihood ruined, right?
Yes.
But let's look at some government officials who shredded real evidence. In 2011, during the course of an Inspector General investigation into NOAA's Office of Enforcement, the same agency that investigated the captain, by the way. Mm-hmm. The director at that time, Dale Jones Jr., actually did shred documents to conceal evidence.
Gosh, well then, that...
Clearly prohibited by that SOX thing.
Yeah, that's...
He was not prosecuted, and he was given a different job.
Oh, gee.
Hello?
Wow.
So a lady feeding a whale and a guy who throws back 72 fish... Mm-hmm. Where there's already a law that says, look, if you throw back the fish, you're going to have a $500 fine.
Yeah.
Instead, they take away his livelihood. Why?
Yeah, that is
Charles Edwards. Listen to this one. Charles Edwards, former Department of Homeland Security Inspector General, allegedly destroyed documents to impede a federal investigation into his office. He also was not given any jail time. He was reassigned to another federal job.
Oh, gee.
Again, another person able to continue doing what he does for a living. Mm-hmm. Oh, but God forbid you should have the fishermen back there on the waters.
Oh, yeah,
God forbid the lady feeding whales should be allowed to feed whales. I thought it was ridiculous when they dragged that lady through the court system who was photographed riding a manatee. Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that one. Sure. It's here.
I mean, why would that be such a big... okay, don't touch them. Mm-hmm. Okay, you get a penalty. Don't make it a big case.
Make a fine, and that's it. They're done.
Obviously, a double standard, right? When government officials destroy real documents...
like the Benghazi documents were all shredded. And
look at how many documents are shredded.
Sure.
Sure. Anyway, so the story is all over the place. If you want to read it for yourself, I got part of that I just read to you from NPR. Mm-hmm. They've got it on their site. I got part of it from Fox News. It's just everywhere. Just Google in the news page of Google, Supreme Court, Florida, and you won't get a story about the Florida Supreme Court. You'll get a story about the U.S. Supreme Court, which I agree with Tom and with Pete that once I understood it myself, I think that it is good that the Supreme Court is looking into this, and I sure hope they make the right decision about this.
Oh, yeah.
Although, here's what I will go back to my first thoughts on this. Not that this shouldn't have been dealt with, but that this could have been dealt with at a smaller court.
Oh, definitely.
The fact that some judge along the way couldn't have seen how ridiculous this was and just threw it out.
Yeah, right.
The fact that it had to go to the Supreme Court, that's also ridiculous.
And you said there was also a fine to take care of that in the very beginning, $500. So why didn't they do it that way? Why did they bring it like this?
$500.
Yeah.
Or and suspension of license, not to ruin the man's career.
Yeah, exactly. They probably confiscated his boat too.
Well,
probably doesn't even have
and that's
that.
yeah. They probably I don't know.
Yeah.
The boat had a name.
Oh.
He anyway. I can't remember the name of the boat. Anyway,
Gosh,
not that it matters. I'm just always interested in stuff like that for some reason.
I'm with you guys. I'm glad the Supreme Court has it, and I'll give it a lot of press.
I'm glad the Supreme Court has it, but it is absolutely absurd that the Supreme Court had to have it.
Yeah.
That's what I guess. Maybe that's my conclusion here. Is that it's a ridiculous case. It is good, as Pete said, and as Tom said, that the Supreme Court is going to look at this so that we can maybe undo this stupid law and the stupid way it's used.
Oh, sure.
But the other stupid thing is the fact that the Supreme Court of the United States has to hear it in the first place.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because easily the Florida Supreme Court could have looked at it, and I don't even think it had to go that high. I think it could have been handled at whatever court represented that little district right over there in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, sure.
Anyway,
sure.
Groupers, grow up. That way we can all catch you. No big deal. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The president meeting with congressional leaders from both parties tomorrow as they work on the agenda going forward.
Post-election